2025. We had some tough times, but we also had a year of living, loving and showing up. As another year closes, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by noise, debates, policies, opinions and arguments about trans lives, rather than with trans people. But 2025 has also been a year of quieter, deeper news, the kind that doesn't always make the headlines, yet it changes lives completely. And this is a roundup of that news, not court cases or culture wars, just people. 2025 had people who transitioned and simply got on with life. Across 2025, thousands of people continued to do something profoundly brave and ordinary at the same time. They transitioned socially, mentally, or quietly within themselves, and then they lived as themselves. Some changed their names, some updated their documents, some started hormones after years of waiting, and some had that surgery they had waited seemingly forever for. Some told themselves this was the year to no longer stay hidden. Many didn't announce it publicly. They didn't trend, they didn't argue their existence. They just went to work, laughed with friends, loved their partners, raised their kids, made dinner, paid bills, and existed more comfortably in their own skin than they had the year before. And that's what actually matters. That is what success in 2025 really looks like. 2025 deserves a shout out to parents who found the strength to support. One of the strongest through lines of 2025 has been the parents quietly choosing to support their trans child. Parents who listened instead of panicking, asked questions instead of saying no, learned new words, new ideas, new ways of thinking, maybe sat with uncertainty rather than forcing certainty onto their child. And they coped with the difficulties that came from the most unexpected places. Some of them didn't fully understand it all at first, and some still don't, and that's okay. But what they did understand was this: their child needed them, and so they showed up. In GP appointments, at school meetings, in family conversations, in moments of doubt and fear, and in the dead of night when the brain just won't shut up, again and again and again. And making that choice has saved lives. 2025 also deserves a shout out to adults who allowed themselves the truth. 2025 has also been a year where many adults, especially those in their 30s and 40s and 50s and beyond, finally allowed themselves to accept themselves for who they are. Some came out after decades of silence. Some transitioned after raising families, and some didn't transition at all, but stopped hating themselves for how they felt. You know, there is deep courage in choosing authenticity late, when the cost can feel higher and the myths might say it's too late, because it isn't. It's never too late. It never has been and it never will be. It's just the right time for them. And 2025 proved that again and again and again. 2025 deserves a shout out to professionals who kept caring, even when it was hard. Away from the headlines, there were many clinicians, counsellors, teachers and support workers continuing to do their jobs with integrity. They treated trans people with dignity. They used the correct pronouns and names without drama. They followed evidence and not fear. And they treated and supported and provided and helped. And they listened, really listened, so that they heard what they needed to do to help. In a climate where doing the right thing can feel risky and the guidance is not always so clear, those professionals chose to care, and their work rarely goes viral, but it changes outcomes every single day. So what is the real headline of 2025? The real story of 2025 isn't just about struggle. It's about people who are still here. It's about remembering those who didn't make it. It's about families that stayed together. It's about children who were believed. It's about adults who stopped pretending. And it's about lives that became brighter. That's not ideology, that's humanity. So as we move into 2026, what shall we really look back on and remember and celebrate? I know. Support works, affirmation saves lives, and being allowed to be yourself is never a mistake. Happy New Year.